Alright, so this is a tutorial of how to play the Ballad of Billy the Kid. I had an earlier video that explained some of the riffs that were going on in the interlude, and this is for, kind of how to play the rest of the song. I don't have music for it, but it's readily available. Also, it's not that helpful to subscribe to one particular arrangement, because that's not what happens in this kind of music. If you listen to Billy Joel, he never plays it exactly the same way twice anyway. The chords are helpful to have as a starting point, but basically if you just know a couple of stylistic riffs that he uses as a sort of a home base, you can make it your own and sound pretty darn close to what he does. So the verses, according to the music, which is in this case accurate, are G, E minor, F. Alright, so from a town known as Wheeling, West Virginia. Now Billy does, which is up here, so you can see it's just an F to a B flat, down to F. Okay. He might embellish it like that. Just kind of arpeggiating a little bit and using some passing tones from here. So instead of starting at the A, he might slide into it from the A flat. Faster. Okay. So from a town known as Wheeling, West Virginia, rode a boy with a six-gun in his hand. It's just arpeggiated from F, C, D, or G7. Then that's usually in there, depending on the verse. It's octaves D, E, G. Okay, back to the structure. G, E, F, C, G, A. He's walking down here with the left hand. C, B, A. But the chords harmonically are C, G, A minor. So the embellishment for that section is something along the lines of E, D, B flat, A, G. Now I did there, I slid into it from sort of the neighbors of the E. I made an E minor chord here, but I slid into it from the G flat and the B flat, going into the G and the B. Kind of a bluesy thing. Billy has a lot of blues in him. So now this part's in the music. This is not. That's kind of like the riff in the other video. Or some variant on that. He plays it differently every time. Basically, you start with your pinky on the D rather, and I use my index finger on the A, and just kind of go like that, and switch over. Kind of like the riff from Captain Jack, but you're in G. That sort of pentatonic riff is everywhere in Billy Joel. So now here it just but that's all it is it looks really cool, but it's not that complicated at all. It's a C and a G with your right hand, and you're alternating with your left hand playing the C. So really never that bridge is C, C, E, B minor, right? But he embellishes it as usual, so mostly just rhythmically. Just going like I did before. It's when in doubt, add the 4 chord. So if you're in D, that's G. He sometimes adds the E into the chord. It's sort of a voice leading thing. E minor 7 and a B minor 7. Now again, you could use that to the 4, which is in this case E minor, or however you want to rhythmically do it. Never troubles heavy, you never have, whatever the words are. Everybody always got the shade. You never had a sweetheart, and you never had a home, but the cowboy and the rancher knew his name. That's that riff again. And then the last verse, he just kind of fools around. It's the same structure, but he'll do something like any of that, whatever you want to fool around with. It's just basically a blues pattern off of the G. Alright, so usually involves something around the lines of or maybe that could be something you could do. Anything around those ideas. So what I'm basically doing is that same idea, but sliding into it. G, C. Any sort of variant on that, he might. Billy doesn't do it the same way twice, neither should you. Learn as many of those style of patterns as you can and modify them however makes most sense for you to play or whatever you like to play best. But that's basically the song. So, from a town known as in West Virginia, a boy with a 6-gun in his hand, and he's daring life of crime, and living legends in his time, east and west of the Rio Grande. But he started with the things in Colorado, in the pocket of his vest. And his age and his size took the better by surprise, and the word spread traveled heavy, but he always goes alone, and it soon put many all his guns to shame. He never had a sweetheart, he never had a home. The cowboy and the rancher knew his name. But he robbed his way from Utah for a home run, and the law just could not seem to track him down. But he learned his legend well, for the folks they love to tell how when Billy the Kid came to town. That's the basic idea. Have fun with it, make it your own, and good luck.